What's up guys, I'm Danny and this is everything you need to know about timing the upper body for the backhand throw. Most of the problems I see from timing the upper body come from people trying to use sheer muscle or brute force to throw the disc, when in reality, all the big distance throwers will tell you speed, flexibility, and smoothness will get more distance every time. In this video, I'm going to talk a lot about the line. The line I'm talking about is from the peak of the reach back in front of my chest through the release. And it's a straight line that I'm trying to pull the disc on, and I kind of leverage my body around that to generate power. So I'm going to work through the throw linearly from the first thing that happens to the release. The first thing that happens is the reach back. Correct timing for the reach back means the peak of the reach back is the same time as my front foot hits the ground. This makes everything really smooth and one fluid motion. Now, having an earlier reach back isn't necessarily incorrect, but everything is a lot easier if this is timed correctly. The other thing about the reach back is it needs to be away from the body. A lot of people who are using muscle to throw the disc curl the disc around their body, and it's important to turn the shoulders and reach away from the body on a straight line, because this is where I make the line that throws the disc. Next thing is my shoulders. During my reach back, I turn my shoulders 90 degrees perpendicular to the line. This means my shoulders are facing away from the target. I don't want to turn my shoulders anymore because that'll throw me off balance. The next thing is this right shoulder joint here. I imagine a stick across my chest here and a stick down this arm. I never want these two sticks to be less than 90 degrees. And what I mean by that is I used to turn my shoulders to try and add power, and this would trap the disc outside my arm or in my left side here and create a curved path for the disc to fly on. And this made me grip lock, this made me release early, it made disc golf a lot harder. So when I'm having problems with this, I focus on from my reach back, pulling the disc to my chest. Because if my shoulders are 90 degrees and my reach back is straight, this angle is 90 degrees. And if I pull the disc to my chest and then I throw it forward, that means this angle here is only going to get bigger. So it's kind of confusing. But if I turn my shoulders like this, and then I pull the disc to my chest here, and then I follow through, the angle only gets bigger here. It doesn't shrink down. Next is the elbow. The elbow is super easy. Just keep it up, and I try to imagine I'm smashing through a window or breaking something fancy. This is what I focus on throwing when I'm telling new players how to throw. I say imagine throwing your elbow forward and then allowing your arm to unfold and snap the disc. Next is the wrist. There isn't a lot of movement throughout the wrist. I focus on keeping my hand on the outside of the disc in front of my chest. I see some people try and pull the disc along their chest, and this takes all the potential out of the wrist and the elbow. So I keep my hand on the outside and my elbow up, and that means just as I naturally throw, my wrist is going to flex correctly. Next thing is the release. Now, if my disc is traveling on a straight line all the way through and it has power behind it, my fingers aren't strong enough to hold onto the disc and cause a grip lock. Because the disc is flying straight, it's not going to all of a sudden turn. So people who have problems with grip lock are generally pulling across a curved line. So if you have problems with grip lock, focus on reaching back away from the body and pulling the disc on a straight line all the way through. Last thing is nose up. Throwing the disc nose up is a big problem that I used to have, and I fixed it by keeping my line level. My line sits just underneath my chest, kind of above my abs area, and if I reach back above it, I'm going to scoop down and throw nose up here. So I reach back flat along this line, and I pull the disc flat, and on my release, I focus on keeping my thumb down. Because if my thumb is pointed down, the disc is going to be pointed down. I mean, not down, obviously, but flat. So that's all I've got for this week. Next week's video is going to be on weight shift, which is really hard to teach, but it should be interesting. So let me know if you have any tips on how to do that. And until then, remember, slow is smooth and smooth is far.